Today's programme is about getting around town. Asking about and explaining the locations of places of interest or importance. Streets, gardens and parks, saying how they got their names. If you are a wheelchair user, there can be problems getting where you want to go. Difficulties of access. Paul shows us some examples and shows us how he moves around from place to place. Organising sport for disabled people is this person's job. And this athlete leads a very active life. And Meet a Man is ready to try anything, including going walkies with a guide dog. Everyday English. Paul has some visitors, and he is about to show them round Gravesend, his hometown.
Anyway, we'll follow the town trail and we'll start at the top of Windmill Hill.
How do we get there?
It's uphill all the way, so we might as well take the car.
Paul's car is specially designed for his wheelchair, so he does not need help and is very independent.
Oh, look, it's there. So that's where we're going now.
All right.
This is Clarence Place. We go along here. There's a Sikh temple along here on the right.
Are there many Sikhs in Gravesend?
Oh yes, a lot. Turn left here, round the corner, up Rouge Lane. Now over the top of the hill, and we can park here. There's a good view from here. That's the River Thames. London's up that way, and Southend is down that way on the north side of the river.
What is opposite us on the other side?
That's Tilbury over there. It's a port for London. On this side is the county of Kent. On the other side is the county of Essex.
How do you get across?
There's a ferry that goes across the river from Gravesend to Tilbury, and there's a tunnel and a bridge further up the river. If you look between the trees, you can just see the bridge in the distance.
Can we go across on the ferry?
Of course, if you want to, but let's do the tour of the town first.
Now, here's a helping hand with talking about places. We use prepositions and prepositional phrases to explain locations and directions.
Anyway, we'll follow the town trail and we'll start at the top of Windmill Hill.
We'll start at the top of Windmill Hill.
It's uphill all the way.
It's uphill all the way.
There's a Sikh temple along here on the right.
There's a Sikh temple along here on the right.
Round the corner, up Rouge Lane.
Round the corner, up Rouge Lane.
Now over the top of the hill.
Over the top of the hill.
London's up that way.
London is up that way.
And Southend is down that way on the north side of the river.
And Southend is down that way, on the north side of the river.
What is opposite us on the other side?
What is opposite us on the other side?
That's Tilbury over there.
That's Tilbury over there.
On this side is the county of Kent. On the other side is the county of Essex.
On this side is the county of Kent. On the other side is the county of Essex.
There's a ferry that goes across the river from Gravesend to Tilbury.
There's a ferry that goes across the river.
And there's a tunnel and a bridge further up the river.
And there's a tunnel and a bridge further up the river.
If you look between the trees, you can just see the bridge in the distance.
If you look between the trees, you can just see the bridge in the distance.
This is Gordon Promenade.
Can you manage? Shall I push?
No thanks, I can manage. And this is Gordon Gardens. They're both named after General Gordon. There he is, that's his statue over there. General Gordon was a philanthropist as well as a famous general. He did a lot for poor people around here. There's a square over there named Khartoum Place. It's named after the famous battle that he fought in the Sudan. We have another famous statue, which I'm sure you'd like to see. Let's go this way. Do you know who this lady is?
Well, I never. Pocahontas. What's she doing here?
Pocahontas came to England to visit King James II at court. She was about to sail back to Virginia when she fell sick on board ship here. She was brought ashore, but she died in Gravesend and was buried in the church here.
Is the garden named after Pocahontas?
Yes, that's right. There's also a boat named in her honour.
First, talking about names and their origins. Gordon Promenade and Gordon Gardens are both named after General Gordon, a famous soldier and philanthropist.
There's a square over there named Khartoum Place. It's named after the famous battle that he fought in the Sudan.
Khartoum Place is named after a famous battle.
Is the garden named after Pocahontas?
Is the garden named after Pocahontas?
There's also a boat named in her honour.
There's also a boat named in her honour.
She was brought ashore, but she died in Gravesend and was buried in the church here.
She was brought ashore, but she died in Gravesend and was buried in the church here. Specialised English.
What's it like for disabled people getting around town? I suppose the pavements are a problem.
Some of them have slopes like here, but in other places they are quite steep.
How about travelling by public transport? How do you find that?
Not bad. Many of the buses have access for wheelchairs, like that one, which is easy to get on.
But if the shopping centre and the high street are up there, how do you get up there?
We use the lift.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the town centre's not too bad. For example, there are several disabled toilets, and you can get a special key. There is access to nearly all the shops and banks, with open fronts or automatic doors. Very few town centre shops have steps. A lot of them have automatic doors or open fronts. There's a shop mobility scheme here where you can get a wheelchair for free. And there are lots of disabled car parking places for cars which show the orange sticker.
I was in a wheelchair once, for a couple of months after I'd had an accident. I found that people talked to me and looked at me differently. Do you find that?
I certainly do. I feel very strongly that people need to be made more aware that disabled people are quite normal. King Street has been completely pedestrianised. That's good for disabled shoppers, good for everyone. The crossing places all have these dots for blind people, and the traffic lights make a beeping noise to tell them when it's time to cross the road. People with guide dogs can take them into shops and public places. Oh no, look at that. He must have seen the sticker. He really shouldn't park so close.
Sorry about that.
A helping hand. Now, here's help with some special vocabulary for disability awareness.
What's it like for disabled people getting around town?
You can say disabled people, or people with disabilities, or in some cases, wheelchair users. Pavements are for pedestrians to walk on, and the edge of the pavement is called the curb. Sometimes the curbs have slopes, but sometimes they are quite steep. Public transport includes trains, buses and taxis. Many buses have access for wheelchairs. That is, it's possible for wheelchairs to enter. King Street has been pedestrianised. It's a pedestrian precinct and cars are not allowed. The crossing places have tactile paving for blind people and partially sighted people. And guide dogs are allowed into shops with their owners. And now, talking about numbers, using many, several, lots and few, and other similar phrases.
Many of the buses have access for wheelchairs.
Many of the buses have access for wheelchairs.
Yeah, the town centre's not too bad. For example, there are several disabled toilets.
There are several disabled toilets.
There's access to nearly all the shops and banks.
There is access to nearly all the shops and banks.
Very few town centre shops have steps.
Very few town centre shops have steps.
A lot of them have open fronts or automatic doors.
A lot of them have open fronts or automatic doors.
There are lots of disabled car parking places.
There are lots of disabled car parking places. Shop Mobility is a scheme which lends wheelchairs to shoppers.
There's a shop mobility scheme here where you can get a wheelchair for free.
And here's a colloquial phrase. For free is just another way of saying it's free. But there are still unforeseen problems for wheelchair users. If only people would think about it and be more aware of disabled people's needs.
Oh no, look at that. He must have seen the sticker.
Sorry about that.
A personal view. Jackie Hales, is the Sports Development Officer for disabled people in her area.
This facility has been the centre of a project that we've started to enable disabled people to access a sports centre with ease. And access doesn't just mean to equipment and buildings and changing rooms and activities, but it also means being an accepted part of what's already going on here with able-bodied people. We're dealing with people with disabilities ranging from physical, sensory, learning disability, and people with a combination of all three, which we would call profound and multiply disabled people.
All the way up to the front drop. Well done.
People with a learning disability perhaps have problems relating to other people and taking part in teams and sharing and interacting with other people. But people with a physical disability, their problems are more obvious, that they may move slower or differently.
Mike Bishop is a top-class basketball player. How did he come to take up wheelchair basketball?
The wheelchair basketball started for me when I was in Stoke Mandeville Hospital, which is the spinal unit in this country, when I was 19, having had a motorcycle accident. At that point, sport is primarily a physiotherapy pursuit, but having left hospital, I realised that basketball was something that I would enjoy. Wheelchair basketball particularly is a fast, physical game. It gives you good exercise, it keeps you fit, it gets the blood flowing, it stops you from getting too fat, which is a potential problem for many of our wheelchair athletes. And also it gives you the element of playing the game with other people, considering other people, being part of a team, and it gives you those odd moments of just absolute magic when it all comes together.
The swimming pool is very popular with many disabled people. Jackie Hales explains why.
People with a physical disability get a bit of a release from their everyday environment, if it's a chair or if they use sticks to help them walk. I mean, they're free of those. They can chuck them away at the side of the pool and get in the water and they're free. They're not necessarily relying on anybody else to help them either, which is part of, perhaps if they have a profound disability, it's part of their everyday life to be constantly relying on other people. So that I think freedom is the big thing. The hoist is needed now in swimming pools because of the new European regulations on lifting and handling. And there was an argument several years ago where disabled people said, we don't wish to get into a pool using a hoist. We don't wish to be manhandled in or be helped by other people. Having a hoist, disabled people sometimes feels actually sets them apart from the rest of the community. But new regulations mean that no lifting or handling can take place as it used to. The hoist allows disabled people to actually get into the jacuzzi upstairs in the health suite as well as into the pool, and it's an activity, it's a leisure-related activity which perhaps some people would feel hadn't been an appropriate activity for disabled people.
Tanni Gray is one of Britain's most successful disabled athletes. She has won gold medals at the Paralympic Games, and every year she trains hard for the London Marathon.
Disabled people are as serious about their sport as non-disabled people are, right up to top international level.
But Mike Bishop thinks that disabled athletics still has second-class status.
You've got other sports in this country, you've got things like the London Marathon, which unfortunately is still, I think, considered a little bit of a second-class race within the whole setup of the London Marathon. Bearing in mind things like no prize money for the wheelchair athletes.
Top-class or elite disabled athletes give encouragement and inspiration to others who are just starting to enjoy sports.
It's a long, slow haul to get the same recognition for disabled athletes as has already been around for the non-disabled athletes. But for disabled people, it's also important to have their own role models who are themselves disabled people.
Hello there. I think we should all do our bit to help those who are less fortunate than ourselves. If everybody did that, the world would be a better place. Spread a little sunshine. That's one of my little sayings, spread a little sunshine. And there's a blind lady wanting to cross the road. I think I'll help her. Dear lady, allow me to help you.
I don't want to cross the road.
Marvellous.
I don't want to cross the road.
Of course you want to cross the road, my dear lady. Let me carry your cat for you, my dear madam.
mind?
Well, I'm very good with animals. Well, you're shopping then.
Well, you can pick that up.
Oh dear. Silly old me. Now, the couple who live here are blind, so I like to give them a helping hand whenever I can. Spread a little sunshine. Of course, they have guide dogs, highly trained creatures. The dogs are very fond of me. And I'm sure everyone will be very pleased to see Meet a Man today. Hello?
Oh no. Here comes trouble. How depressing.
Anybody at home? Meet a Man.
Oh no, guess who's here?
Oh no, it's not Mr. Helpful Meter Man, is it?
Good morning, good morning.
Hello.
Now, I must just read the meter, and then I'll be at your service as usual.
I had a feeling today was going to be a bad day.
That's all fine. No problem. Now, my dears, what can I do to help?
We're going to take the dogs to the park for a free run. Would you like to come along and keep an eye on them?
Oh, certainly. Anything I can do to help. Good doggies.
Could you fetch my keys from the kitchen, please?
Certainly.
And my purse, please.
At once. Keys, purse. Yeah. I can't find them.
The keys are by the radio.
My purse is on top of the microwave.
Purse on the microwave? Oh, yes. And by the radio.
He must be as blind as a bat.
Or as deaf as a post.
Blind as a bat. Deaf as a post. That's two of our little sayings. They're doing my job. Mind the post here. Now you're on the pavement. Mind the curb. Mind the curb, my dear. Yes.
He's doing our job. Why doesn't he stick to reading meters?
Now, over we go. This way. On the bicycle. This way, please. Over here. That's the way. There's a bench just here. Here we are. Nice bench if you'd like to sit down, my dear. This way, the other way around. That's it. Lovely. This way, a bit further. Lovely. And you, sir. Marvellous. There we are. Bind up a bit. There we are. Well, this is very nice, isn't it? Wide open spaces for the doggies to have a free run. Well, would anyone like an ice cream? No money. This is my treat, my dear.
Do you think he'll get one for us? No, I doubt it. They never do. It's a dog's life.
Make sure you keep your eye on the dogs. That's your job.
Yes, mind you do.
Of course I will. You can rely on Meter Man. Dad, what are you doing up there? Oh, I see. I'll get it down for you.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh, you, take these. Thank you. I do like to be helpful.
Thank you very much.
Is it a bird?
Oh.
Is it a plane? No, it's Meter Man. Bye-bye, Meter Man. Bye-bye.
Come on. Right now.
Good girl. I can't think what's happened to him. We can't wait any longer.
Fancy abandoning us in the middle of nowhere. We've got to find our way back to the park gates.
Are you two all right? You look a bit lost.
Could you show us to the park gates, please?
Yeah, just on your right-hand side is a path. If you turn right down there, that will take you towards the gates. Now, would you like me to take you over?
Yes, please.
Help! Help! Oh dear. What I need is a helping hand. Someone to spread a little sunshine.
Use your eyes. Keep your eyes open when you're getting around the town. There are many different words for a road or a street. It can be a crescent, an avenue, or a hill. Here in Gravesend, street names reflect the history and the geography of the town. There's Khartoum Place, named after the battle fought in 1885. There's Thames Way. It's not difficult to see what that's named after. Special signs show the facilities which are available for people with disabilities. A sign to show that guide dogs are admitted, but not other dogs. Facilities for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. For more work on the topics of this programme, look at the grammar, the vocabulary and the exercises in the student's book. In next week's programme, the topic is what some people call the British Passion. Do you know what this is? Join us then to find out.